it'll probably be months again before I post, but you know, we'll see what happens. I might surprise you. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. And yeah, I have not posted in almost 2 months. I apologize for that. This year's just been really hard. I get so into a deep depressive rotting funk easily, and anytime I have a day off, I just don't want to do anything but rot. So anyways, I have not done a reading wrap up since I think September, and since we're already almost to the end of February, I'm not going to do a January wrap up. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to talk about all of the books that I've read in the last several months that I've just absolutely been loving and that I just want to share with the world. I just feel like I'm not going to sit here and spend time talking about all the books that I have read in the last several months when some of them were duds. So I'm just going to talk about all the ones that I think are spectacular. So without further ado, here are all the books that I have been loving lately. So the first one I'm going to talk about was back in January, and I binge read the Wolf Hotel series by K.A. Tucker. It had been a while since I have read a really good boss assistant type of romance, and this one was so good. So it is 5 books, but they're all very quick and easy reads. And yeah. So anyway, we have our female main character, and at the beginning of the story, her fiance or whatever has cheated on her, and so she just wants like a fresh new life, wants to get out of her small town. She just wants to do something for herself. So she ends up going to this job fair, and she gets hired by this like really elite hotel chain, and she gets hired to come work up in Alaska in like the outdoor department or something, because she is a farm girl, she's a hardworking girl, and this is kind of just right up her alley. When she gets there, there's like an administration overlook or whatever, and so she's not actually put in the outdoor department. She ends up working for Henry Wolf, who is our main character. She ends up becoming his assistant, and this is just a really good series. I will say I loved Henry. Henry was a great male main character. This entire thing is in Addie's point of view, and so you don't really know a lot of what is going on in Henry's mind. And sometimes I like just having the female main character. I don't know. I am all up for a dual POV, but sometimes it's just refreshing to have a different take. I don't know. I'm rambling on. Anyway, this was a great series. Okay, this next one was actually my favorite read from January. I'm still thinking about it to this day. Read it on my Kindle and had to run out and jump on Amazon and grab the physical copy. So that is Rush by Emma Scott. And I have never seen anyone talk about this. This kind of just popped up on my Kindle Unlimited app recommendations, and I need more people talking about this. This is a very angsty, hurt, comfort romance, I guess is the way that I would describe it. So we have our female main character, Charlotte, and our male main character, Noah. Noah is like this X Games adrenaline junkie. He's very famous in his world, and he gets into a very serious accident where he loses his sight. Then you flash forward to Charlotte. Charlotte is, I think, in her senior year at Juilliard. She is like this great violin prodigy, and she receives some really disturbing news at home that just kind of takes her out of music, and it just leaves her with no inspiration at all. So after the end of the school year, she ends up going to work at a diner and then bartend at night, just because, like I said, she's lost all passion for music. Then you flash forward some time, and Noah is in need of a new assistant to help him with his day-to-day life because, like I said, he is a blind man, and this is something that he is not accepting in his life. He's very angry, he's very hateful, and he does not give any of his assistants the time of day. So through a series of events, Charlotte ends up with this job. She ends up moving into his home, so there is a lot of close proximity, but this was just such a beautiful, touching story. I absolutely loved every minute of it. I'm definitely going to need to reread it soon so I can annotate it, but yes, if you want a really good angsty hurt comfort, go try this one. Okay, and then I got an arc of Between the Blue by Nikki Witt. This is Nikki from Nikki's Book Nook here on YouTube. We are friends. We do talk from time to time. We have a lot of similar book interests, and so when she announced that she was going to do arcs for this release, I was like, yes, Nikki, send me one, please. I really loved this story. This was another angsty hurt comfort type of read, and this is one of those ones where it is dual POV, but it's going to be her present and his past. I will also say that he reminds reminded me a lot of a Mariana Zapata type of hero. Very grumpy, grunts a lot. Specifically, he reminded me of Aiden from The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. But yeah, so we have our female main character, and she has recently moved to Dallas. And at the beginning of the story, she meets our male main character at the gym. They're both kind of early risers, and they're the only ones there at this time. And she just kind of tries to talk to him, and he, grunts at her and does not give her the time of the day. And then after a series of events, she ends up becoming the photographer for the Dallas hockey team, and he doesn't want her there. And that's really all I'm going to talk about this book. I think this is one that you need to go in blind, just because, like I said, with her being present in the past, it added a whole level of something. But I really, really enjoyed this story. It was just, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just great. Okay, then another great hurt, comfort, angsty romance. I think a lot of the ones that I'm going to talk about are on that, just because I've kind of been on a kick like that lately. But it is Love You From Afar by Morgan Paige. Morgan had actually released this one in the summer because the duet sequel just came out. And I had an arc of this in the summer, and I just put it off and I didn't read it. And now that I have, I'm absolutely slapping myself for not reading it when I did. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I waited because I read it in the wintertime. This is a wintertime story, so it just kind of gave me the aesthetics. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and tell you about the book. So we have our female main character, Skylar, and our male main character, Everett. And Skylar is engaged to Everett's brother, Elliot. And Elliot is just kind of a shitty fiance. He's a very big workaholic and just doesn't really give Skylar the time of day. So at the beginning of the story, they all have to drive from Texas up to Denver for a cousin's wedding, and Everett had built some arches for the wedding, and Skylar had made some decorations. And so instead of flying, they need to drive up there. And like I said, since Elliot is a piece of shit fiance, he doesn't go with his fiance or his brother. He lets them drive together. Now, prior to this story starting, there was one night between Everett and Skylar where they just had something happen. They developed feelings for each other, and they've just kind of never been able to let this go. But they kind of hate each other for it because they're trying to hide their feelings. So it was just really great. Like I said, it is a road trip between Everett and Skylar, so there is a lot of close proximity here. This is part one in a duet, and then the second part is about his brother. I'm currently reading that one right now. It's an office romance, and I'm really enjoying it. But yes, this one was a great one, once again, for that hurt, comfort, angsty. And then yet another hurt comfort I had was The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartmann. I had a friend, Justine, send me this recommendation because, like I said, I was on a hurt comfort kick, and I really enjoyed this one. So this is going to be one where we have a death of a spouse prior to the story starting. So our female main character had lost her husband, and her husband was an organ donor, and so his heart went to somebody else, and she has not been able to move on and grieve yet. She really wants to find who the person is who took his heart, but because of patient confidentiality and them not wanting their information released, she's just never been able to find it. And then also, while all this is going on, like I said, she is grieving and she is going through a lot, and so there are trigger warnings for self-harm and suicide because she does try to take her life. And then she's placed into a suicide self-harm support group, and there she meets our male main character. And it's very, very hinted that he is the one that received her husband's heart. So I just really liked this story. It had a lot of angst and touching moments to it, and it does have a little bit of a twist thrown in there, but once again, great for hurt comfort. Last read for January that I just absolutely loved was P.S. You're Intolerable by Julia Wolf. This is another one of those ones that just randomly popped up on my Kindle Unlimited app as a suggestion for you. It's the third book in a companion novel series. I have not read the other ones. I hadn't even heard of this series. But this book really took me by surprise. So this is another office boss assistant romance, but the kicker with this one is that his assistant is pregnant when the story starts. Now, please don't let that discourage you, okay? I know a lot of people don't like pregnancy trope. They don't like baby, secret baby, but please just let me talk about this one. So he does not notice that she is pregnant until she's about 7 months along. And when he finds out, he just becomes very caring and protective and just wants to take care of her. Then after she has her baby, she is kind of left in this really shitty situation that her baby daddy put her in. And when Elliot, her boss, discovers her living situation, he's like, this is really unacceptable. You and your daughter are going to come stay with me in my big mansion. So she and the baby move in, and so there is a lot of close proximity. Like I said, this is an office romance. And then you have a single mom with a guy who just really swoops in and basically acts like the hero dad. This story was just so incredible. Like I said, it was a hidden gem. I have seen a lot of people start to talk about it. A lot of people did read it in the last month. So just if you like office romances, go read it. It was just really great. All right, so those are the books that I just have absolutely loved reading lately, aka pretty much all of the ones that I loved in January. I did have other good reads in January, but they just weren't spectacular that I feel like I need to talk about them. Also, a lot of them are like ones everybody's been reading. Like I read the first Crescent City, and then I started the Alliance series by S.J. Tilley, and I really liked that. But everybody's reading those, and so I just didn't talk about them. But anyways, I am really trying to get better at posting, okay? We are getting closer to Taming 7, so I just need to get back into some vlogging. I want to reread Boys of Tallman from the beginning all the way through. I don't know. I just have a lot. I'm rambling. It'll probably be months again before I post, but you know, we'll see what happens. I might surprise you. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!